Alright, I had to watch my video to make sure that I was still on task. As I was saying in part one, you don't get to walk away and not do what you're supposed to do. You gotta stand on your jump. Be a man. Someone is going to have to make sure that you run things the way you're supposed to run them. You don't get to just say, I'm a man, therefore this is how this is gonna go. Because if you look at the amount of households that are divided, the amount of people who don't do what they're supposed to do, I don't care if it's 3% or 10%. For us, 10% is too much because our percentage to the rest of the world is very low. So, someone needs to decide to do things right. You can't oversell yourself. You have to be honest and make sure that you are a true representative of what things need to be offered to her and the expectation that must come to your child. You know? It's nothing worse to me than having broken homes. For me, a broken home is not saying that you handle your responsibilities for your child alone. A broken home is the fact that your child's not in your home. That your living child's mother is not in your home. Eldership goes far surpasses the thesis of your personal house. This ain't a religion. This has to be for the sake of a collective group of people. As much as I say culture, 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 you'll hear the word cult all the time. And when you hear the word cult, that they do things and people call it crazy. But traditionally, you must also realize that in anything, it's a ship up or ship out kind of situation. It's either you're down or you're out. And if you're in this, whoa. My lenses look messed up right now. Could be my mind. Anyway, if you're in this, then this is what you need to do. But you're not allowed to stay if you're not going to do what you're supposed to do. Whether it is the agreement between you and her family that you will provide her a place to live, you will provide her housing, you will provide her food and nutrition for your children, and when she leaves, you still need to provide that, then so be it. There are cultures that go by that. There are cultures that say send her back to her daddy. And guess what? In all wholehearted honesty, if you're dumb enough to be a part of a system like that, then it's not my problem. It's not my fault that you didn't research and make sure you understood what was at hand. The whole thing is that all this stuff was designed to say, do you really love the person that you're saying that you are going to be with? Or is this just a game so that you can get what you want? There's a lot of dudes out there, there's a lot of males and females out there who do things exclusively for pleasure. You know? And as a result of doing things just for pleasure, they tend to be very selfish. The process of being about themselves and only themselves. Kids need clothes. Kids need certain things for school. She needs things. Notice I'm saying needs, not wants. But I want my video games. I want to watch this. I want to go here. I want to do this. I want to do that. Nah, man, that's not how this works. You about the needs of the house before you're about your personal desires. The ends gotta justify the means. And quite frankly, communally, we're not doing too well. And we won't do any better until somebody gets off of their behind and starts to do the right thing. And you need brothers and sisters to be able to make sure you stand on what you need to stand. Stop trying to always make everybody do what you want, and make sure that you find out if you're doing all the things you're supposed to. We got to keep it real. A lot of our brothers and sisters have sexually transmitted diseases that's going to cause them to die. A lot of our brothers and sisters have been beaten out of their mind. I lost a friend. She's not coming back. She's gone. I'll never be able to. I might never ever get to hear her daughter's voice. I might not be able to help her daughter with anything of any shape or form ever. I gotta accept that. People sleeping on friends' couches, lost everything to their woman. People been in jail, women lied on them. It happens both ways. But in all wholehearted honesty, it's because we have poor conduct. We have poor accountability. We didn't have anybody responsible for our actions. And when something went down, there was no punishment for anything. You might not like the United States government to be in your business, but the reason why they gotta be in your business in the first place is because you sorry. Or she's sorry. But those character flaws typically come out before you have sex, unless you met her on the street and the same day you started banging and you was drinking and doing all sorts of nonsense in the first place to even catch yourself being in a position where you thought it was okay to accept mediocrity, or she thought it was okay to accept you for who you are and not expect the best for you and your child. That's your fault. You're going to have to deal with that, not me. But if you want me to be a part of your life, so before you deal with that, I can help you, I will. But you're going to have to swallow it up. And that's the same thing I expect if I say that somebody's going to hold me accountable. If somebody's saying that they're going to hold me accountable to anything, they're going to have to call me to make sure I'm all right. They're going to have to send me messages to make sure I'm all right. They're going to have to do their job. I'm not their child, but they are going to have to do their eldership responsibility of making sure I'm okay. And I'm going to have to work towards making sure that I meet the requirements to somebody that I say I want to be accountable of me. People are very half-assed about everything. And that's got to stop. Because our heirs are not going to know any better. And for each decade, our heirs have gotten positive in one area and have fallen off in several others. It's called 1 step forward and 9 steps back. And when we always find the white man as the issue to all our problems. And truth be told, it's poor tribalistic behavior, poor communal behavior, poor accountability, poor communalism, poor eldership. If you don't have an eldership because you were a foster child, I understand. You don't understand the purpose of it. If your parents died, I understand. You don't understand the purpose of it. You were adopted and your adopted parents really were not connecting with you, which they should have, then I can understand it. But if you got everything that you needed in life and your parents blessed you with everything in life, or your parents were around on some level to try to give you something, then that's your stepping stone to build up things better, not to go below. something's wrong with you if you think that that's all right. I already told people, Bible study group is closed. I'm not going to preach at people. For the last couple of years, I've really been frustrated with that. I don't have time to try to make you believe something. By now, you should be able to read. You should know scripture. And if you don't have any question, if you don't understand, then you have your ability to ask. No problems. But this ain't going to be a system where I'm going to be chasing anyone to talk about anything, because that's not how this life was designed. What I'm looking for right now is brothers and sisters who want to build. You build by having discussions. That means you got to open your mouth. You build by having rules and regulations. You build by assessing needs. You build by putting money up and not thinking that the goal of all this is to put money in your individual pocket. If you don't understand this, then please don't ever complain about the white man. Please don't ever complain about religion. Please don't ever complain about your baby mama. Please don't complain about what's going on in the stock market or the president of the United States, because truthfully, wholehearted, honestly, if you're not willing to do this, then you are the problem. And this tape is over. Much love.